Robert Heffernan, EndoTech Analytics, streaming live exclusively for the Pareto Network. This is Blockchain Vitals, and it is Sunday night, so we're going to talk weeklies tonight. The weekly fractal is available, and some interesting things on the chart that I want to talk about. But first, we need to do the rounds. Doing the rounds. That's something we do every week, and sometimes I'm in front of the graphic. Sometimes I'm behind it. You never know what's going to happen here. All right. Life happened today, and I need to talk about it. First of all, I spent a lot of years in Chicago on the floor of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Many, many years trading in many different pits. And the last, 5 or 6 years on the floor, I spent in the lean hogs. I traded currencies, Deutschmarks. Before the euro, there was the Deutschmark. Anybody remember that? I was in that pit. I traded euro dollars. I traded euro yen, Mexican peso, Canadian dollar. And I ended up the last 5 years in the lean hogs in the agricultural quadrant on the CME, screaming and yelling, taking advantage of the Goldman roll and all the things that were so awesome in that agricultural quadrant. Many, many years, made many great friends. And that's why today I got to spend a little bit of time to talk about the passing of my friend Jimmy Burns. What a great, great guy. And in the trading world, making money's great, of course, but the people that you meet on the floor, the relationships that you have, and the stand-up guys, because believe me, like anything else, there were some less than stand-up guys in the commodity world, and Jimmy Burns was just one of the greatest guys I ever knew on the floor, and he passed away today at the young age of 50, and I'm just heartbroken about that. What a great guy. He'll be remembered in my mind as a guy that really adhered to the word is my bond. And, the pit was, it's not the sacred's the wrong word, especially on a day like today. But, the word is my bond is a really strong indicator of people's personality and that pit, when you could trust that people had your back, and that your word was your bond, and people stood up for the trade. And not only that, they stood up for the integrity of the market, the marketplace, that the best bid and the best offer ruled in the pit. And he was just a fantastic guy. And I have to say, I love you, Jimmy Burns, and I'll see you on the other side. Someday, some way. All right, let's take the vitals. All right, let's get right into it. Bitcoin trading 69.62. What are they? Right there near the high end of their value range. Now, if you look at the 4-hour chart, this stuff looks like it's trying to roll. It's trying to roll around. I'm involved a little bit. I dabbled on the Doji from Friday, got involved in a little XRP and a little Litecoin. They didn't really follow through so much to the upside, but they are treading water, we're going to call this action. Treading water near the high end of value for Bitcoin. But, listen, for long-term strength, they need to take that lower momentum level out on the daily, 72.70, right? They need to take that out, and they need to close above it, all right? And in Bitcoin, if we can do that, if we can get to that sign of strength in Bitcoin, if we could do that, the next test then for longer term health is the weekly lower momentum level this week, 77.51. All right, 77.51. I want to see this rolling action. I want to get involved, but I'm not getting involved unless they can close out a lower momentum on the daily. I will get involved then. And then if we can close out a lower momentum this week on the weekly, close the week above 77.51, I'll get involved even more. All right, room to the downside on the weekly, 38.56. It's been right around that 3,800 level. and perplexing to me because I do have a substantial bet with Snarkosaurus, the snark, man. Fantastic commodity mine, and I'm thinking 3,500 before. I forget what the best was. The bet was 12,000. I really need to see a washout through that lower momentum collar. But I will play. I will play to the long side if we can find some strength. All right. Yeah. Next one. Moving on. Ethereum trading 381, right in the middle of its value range. The pivot right in the middle of a value range. Again, I never like playing pivots when they land right in the middle of a value range. I'd rather see the market establish itself either out of momentum one way or the other. That lower momentum level 412. Again, I'm on the sidelines here. I need to see it close out of lower momentum. All right. Weekly lower momentum. Two things are interesting on this chart. Weekly lower momentum 545 this week in Ethereum. Obviously, we need to close out a lower momentum on the daily first, and maybe we can make a heading towards that weekly mo. But last week's collar, lower momentum collar, was 208. This week, $33 lower momentum collar. I mean, there's potential on the downside is frightening for anybody that's holding a lot of Ethereum. They really need to see some strength here because we start another leg down, man. And, I would have bought this week around the $200 level. Those chips are off the table now if this thing starts to melt down. And what I wanted to talk about in particular now, Dash, Zcash, and Ripple, all three of those coins, their lower momentum collar now is in negative territory. Like I call it Stugatz, worthless. The big goose egg, nada, nothing. The Lehman Brothers stock certificate. I got it. Lehman Brothers stock, worth nothing. Wallpaper. So, I don't want to be an alarmist. I'm just telling you that that's what the numbers are saying. The numbers are numbers. They're not right or wrong. That's just what the math is indicating now. Dash, Zcash, and XRP have a lower momentum collar on a weekly basis that is below zero. All right. Momentum and Dash, lower momentum on the daily. Let's just talk about that quickly. On the weekly, 391. Need to see them. All of these need to roll around and close higher. I don't have the dailies on Dash for today, but let's talk Ripple. Like I got involved here, all right? I like the doji. I bought them around 50 cents. I'm still in them. Not loving it, but looks like a little bit of rounding action maybe here. 51 cents at lower momentum level, and 58 cents is the lower momentum on a weekly basis. Again, we need to close out a lower momentum on the daily before we can attempt the weekly, but I would love to see that. Zcash, let's talk a little Zcash. Trading 190. Actually, Zcash, look at that, above its value range high, the strongest one of the bunch so far on a technical basis. And at lower momentum level, within striking distance at 196 for Zcash. Zcash, low momentum on the weekly, 247. And as I said, the collar below zero. But we get a close above 196. I'll be dabbling in some Zcash. And last but not least, Litecoin trading 115, near its high of value from yesterday. Lower momentum at 124. Lower momentum collar on the weekly, $67. So any washout down around that $67 level, love to partake and jump into some Litecoin. Again, so in total on a weekly basis, they haven't washed out yet today. I'm involved a little bit, but I really want to see them maintain the strength that they're showing on the 4-hour. I don't really like to go much lower than a 4-hour time frame, or fractal, we'll call it. And if we can get some strength here today, happy Monday, happy Easter Monday in Asia, already Easter Monday in Asia. If we can get some strength, I'm ready to jump in. I've been on the sidelines. I've been riding the pine for weeks, it seems now, weeks. I rode enough pine in high school on the basketball team. I don't need to be doing it while I'm trading. All right, so that's it. That's the weekly fractal look. You guys have a great trading week. We'll be back tomorrow, Monday, today in Asia, just in a few hours. And talk about the setup, how these things shook out today, and we will talk then. Have a great trading Monday.